What's up, guys? Textuatic here with another look at some of the figures we got this week. Today we are looking at the Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers Vega figure. Now, finally, I got this guy in my collection. So basically, I had him in my pile of loot, and then I don't know what I did. I think I accidentally canceled him to get another figure, and then I meant to add him back. But when I went back, the figure was now up for pre-order, and I was like, what? Like, I don't know what I did. Like I said, I totally messed up. And when I got my pile of loot, I looked, I was like, where's Vega? And I was just like, oh, wait a minute. I changed him for someone else, and I forgot to add him back. Anyway, so I kind of waited on him. I was looking for him. I kind of, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about him. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I was just looking at other things, and so many figures to collect, so many lines that I just wasn't really thinking too much. But anyway, Amazon got them on sale the other day. I managed to it just came up and $25, and boom, grabbed them. Bada boom, he's here now. So finally, and I was really looking forward to this one the most out of all the figures on Jada Street Fighter line this year. So let's see, in a few days when I get back from vacation, I will get my yearly review, and let's see if Vega made it. I think he did. So far looking so good in that packaging. So let's get a closer look at that packaging. Of course, you see the figure inside. You have the Health Life, the same Jada packaging that they've been doing for Street Fighter. So nothing completely different. This is a smaller box. He is a smaller figure compared to like Blanca or Sagat. So, or Sagat. So yeah, you can see him here. I am seeing something a little disappointing. I believe the claws are supposed to be silver, not gold. So this is a little different. I'm not really too sure if I remember him in silver. I mean, in gold, and if there was a repaint with gold, not sure, but that is something that, even right here, it's silver. So that's something I'm a little bit disappointed, but we'll get more into it. But you can see a figure inside. So this figure, the way they shipped it, like I said, I'm glad I'm no longer an inbox collector, because I would have been pretty pissed, because look at how they shipped them in a regular shipper with two little cardboards, so, supposedly protecting. I was like, oh, that looks nice. And then I look, So anyway, no big deal. As you can see, here's a character portrait here. And like I said, there's silver there. You got the name Vega. You got the little joystick and buttons there. On the side, it says his country of origin is Spain. His fighting style is Spanish Ninjutsu. And he's actually right there. Yeah, he's part of the main thing here. Of the other characters on the side. Here's some more. Filong and Cammy. And I think you can see DJ right there. There's Ryu right there. Is there any other figures? Oh, there's T-Hawk. Right, T-Hawk right there, and M. Bison. And I think that's all we got on this side. And on the back, there's a character portrait here. Vega looking pretty cool. And then, of course, you got the roster. So let's double check. Let's see here. Honda went up pre-order, so he's coming sometime next year. We're still waiting for Zangief. And then T-Hawk also. We did see those in the San Diego Comic-Con, but I don't think they'll probably come later in next year. I think next year they'll probably be done. 2026 will be done with the line, which is very, very awesome. Like, they actually finished the line. It's been a lot of companies that have done the Street Fighter 2 lines, and they never finished. And it's really cool that we're getting them to finish. I was hoping Storm Collectibles would finish, but I have a weird feeling that Storm Collectibles is gonna finish or we're gonna have Alpha Street Fighter 3 figures first before we get the right, And I really want Storm Collectibles to finish, only because I like their style, I like the size of them. So we'll see. But anyway, back to this. So I know Akuma, he went on for pre-order, and Balrog, I think, did he go on pre-order or no? I don't think he did. So he's the other one. So those main three, the big guys, T-Hawk, Zangief, and Balrog will be the next ones after Honda. Right? Or did Honda come pre-order? I don't remember. I think Akuma was the one, and then Honda. Was Balrog also? I can't even think. I think so. God, I don't know. It's hard to keep up. But anyway, it's really cool that we're going to have the whole roster. And actually, I displayed my Street Fighter 2 figures at work from Jada, and I grabbed them all out, and I'm going to find a place for them here. Let's see, I got to look, but yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool, and I'm actually very excited that we got Vega here. So let's go and get this guy out of the packaging and get a closer look at the Jada toys. Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers, Vega. All right, here is Vega out of the packaging, and man, I have to admit, he looks awesome. Like, I am feeling him. I love the colors. I love everything that makes him unique. The face sculpt looks good. I love that paint on that snake on his body. I mean, dang, like this, woof. I'm very, very impressed. Let's go ahead and get a closer look at that face sculpt. Look at that. Now, Vega is known for being his handsome self. And it does really go well. Like I said, Jada has made a big improvement from the first Ken and first Ryu figures all the way up to now. I think Ken and Ryu need to be re-released or something, because they have gotten a better job with their face sculpts. Look at how nice, and look at that, just the detail. And, he's, handsome. I mean, he looks really good. And then, of course, you have his ponytail, which is in a soft plastic, coming on over here. You would think it'd be back here, but it's, Now let's look at the body. He has that, what do you call it? The rotator cup here inside. So he can move a lot better like this, which is really great. You got that snake tattoo. It comes all the way around, which is really neat. Like, that's really cool. Like, some part of it's on his arm, so it looks like a snake is wrapping up on him, just like in the video game. I'm not too sure if these are gold. I think they are in the game. I think I gotta double check. So that, it looks really nice. I like that color. It's beautiful. And then you got, of course, the wrist bracelet also has a gold on both. It's just, like I said, the thing that is a little bothersome is the fact that this is not silver. I'm wondering if they wanted just to match that, but I think, honestly, they should have just left it silver. I think that would have been, for me, better. I think a lot of people, too, are thinking about it. I think I've seen some people repainting this, so that's also pretty interesting. So he basically has two fist pumps there. So here the claws are attached to this hand here. So you can't take it off. So that's, understandable, because he's always using that as a weapon. Man, I hated Vega. Like, I always thought he was a cool character, but I hated him because I use Honda all the time, and it was always hard to not get hit by these big old feet. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. Anyway, so going down to the skirt, he has a soft goods skirt. It's really, of course, there's a wire on there, so you can adjust it in each way, which is really cool. It goes around there, really nice. And then you got those purples and yellows on the legs. This costume, you got those big old white socks, and then those loafers that he has. So it's really cool. They really did a great job of transitioning him into what he looks like from the video game. He looks really good. I like this guy. This is freaking awesome. I'm glad I was able to get him, because, Storm Collectibles, where is Vega? We need him. We need a lot of figures from that line. I don't know what's going on with Storm Collectibles and their Street Fighter 2 figures. I think M. Bison is shipping, so hopefully I get him very soon. I got him actually from Storm Collectibles. Usually I get him from Big Bad Toy Store, but I got him from Storm Collectibles. He's coming very soon. And then T-Hawk should be out sometime next year, and I'm just wondering why they taking so long. Why is it they taking so long for those? I don't understand. Like, we need... But I'm glad that, Jada has jumped in and, at least we got him here, so we'll see. Of course, if Storm Collectibles does come out with a Street Fighter Vega version, Vega figure, I'm definitely getting him. But anyway, let's get back to this figure. Let's go to accessories. I'm gonna go and let's do the hands real quick. So he has 2 open grip hands, or you know, where he's kind of clawing his way. I really wish they would have done a little more detail on those nails, just a little bit more paint to show that they don't blend too well. But you know, that happens. I mean, it is a, you know, a less costly figure, so that's not terrible. You know, it's understandable. Then he comes with his mask that you can put over, I guess, this face, because that, you know, so it's a little bit. I'm sure you can get it. I don't know. I can't. You gotta really stretch it. I think the best way to do it is to pop the head open and do it from the bottom. If you must, I think that'd be a lot easier. But oh god, no, actually, no, it goes. There we go. Kind of gotta get it in there. So I don't really. To me, I don't think this is gonna work. Because you gotta cover the hair. You can't get it inside the hair. So the mask for me, I guess, is when he takes it off and he can hold it on his hand. But still, even if he holds it in his hand, it kind of got to hold it like this, I guess. But I mean, the mask is a nice touch. But like I said, like I think it would have been easier if this part, the hair part piece, was removable, and then you can put the hair in, because right here that glue is stuck and you really can't get this in here. You would have to really. I'm gonna try to get it, but I feel like it's gonna break. So let me keep playing with it. But anyway, yeah. So I was able. Yeah. Oh my god! Like, this is not looking good. Like, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, I don't know about this. I really don't know. It looks very much weird because it's like, I mean, if you look at the difference between the one that comes with, so yeah, that's, I mean, I guess you know, I'm not going to put it on him because it's not going to work. I guess you got to hold. And the thing is that, like I said, like, this hand should be like a gripping hand, so he can hold hold it here in his hand. You know what I mean? And this is just like an open hand, like he's gonna claw you. So, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, looking back now, we got the helmet, the figure, well, the mask, the masked head with the, you know. So that one's actually. So you actually can see him a lot better with the mask. I mean, of course, this is what he's recognized for. He doesn't remove his mask until the end of the fight. So, you know, and it's kind of, you know, and it's articulated. So that's, oh, and it comes off. Oh, boy. So it's articulated. You can twist it. You can put it here. You can put it down there. So that's really interesting. So that looks really cool. I really like that. That looks neat. And then he does come with another claws, and I think this is the one that I saw where people were painting them silver. So, and I guess, see, at the end of the bout, he puts his hands up. He like has a gesture where he's putting his hand, his claw up, and he's holding his mask on his other thing. So this doesn't really fit here. So I don't know. I feel like, and this doesn't really give me much to work with. So I guess it goes here. I don't know. I'm assuming it does. Let me see if I can get. Wait, actually, no. It's supposed to go on this one. My bad. Oh Lord, help us. I don't want to break it because it's, you know, it's interesting how. There you go. So like, there's a poke, but I mean, it doesn't. I don't understand that. Like, for me, like, if the pose is up, he doesn't like that. So I don't know why I don't remember. I don't think his hand's open when the pose is up. So I'm a little confused. Yeah, he doesn't have his hand open. I think it's this way. So I think it's kind of cool. I mean, of course, in the game, like if if you beat him up or you hit him, give him enough hits, the claw will fall off. So, but I don't know. I think they could have just had the hand. I mean, you know, it's cool. I mean, you know, like I said, if you want to use that part. But like I said, I remember in the game, he has a closed fist in his hand. He pushes hands up. And then I think, or maybe it's the second pose where he takes his helmet off or his mask off. And that's the deal. So that's just a little bit of missed opportunity, but no worries on that. So let's get this guy on my turntable to get my final thoughts on the Jada Toys Vega figure. All right, here are my final thoughts on the Jada Toys Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 2 Final Challengers Vega figure. All I can say, he is a freaking awesome figure. You know, one thing I didn't mention earlier was the fact of how well these pose in terms of the posability with these guys. Like, they can do a lot, which is great. I mean, there's a lot of agility, a lot of things to do. And with Vega, you kind of have to have that with him, you know, because he is a very, you know, movable, you know, versatile, flexible guy that does a lot of different crazy things in his moveset. Like I said, when I was a kid, I did not like facing him. And I figured a way to beat him up, because he would climb those chain, that chain in the back or the fence in the back, go up and then, you know, come down. And you know, you have to use strategy a lot with facing him. And I finally figured out some way to beat his butt with Honda, because, you know, Honda was one that he was able to always get, you know what I mean? But anyway, I also forgot to mention that he does have his background as a you know, little cool set. So I do have the backgrounds. I do save these. The other stuff I throw out, but I do save this so I can use those eventually. But yeah, and also I was checking out the scale, because I remember Vega was a little taller than everybody. So I did do you know, real quick look at him with Ken, and he's a little taller than Ken, not too tall. But I thought, I could have swore he was just a little bit taller than them, like, you know, maybe another, you know, 5 or 6 inches taller. But, you know, no worries. I mean, it doesn't matter. The only nitpicks I can say is, number one, the point of this mask and the hand combo. You know, like I said, I think if they would have done this hand, you know, like a gripping type of hand, like a hand where, you know, he can hold on to the mask a little easier, because it just looks kind of weird, like he has his hand out. You know, maybe when you're gripping something, holding that, you know, the mask up, I don't remember the hand being this grippy. There's no way that this mask will go over this face sculpt, because it just, you know, it has to go in between. Like I said, you see that figure that goes in between the head sculpt. So it's not a big deal. And then, of course, last but not least, I think also too, just a little disappointing in the fact that the claws aren't silver like in the video game. So that's another decent. But other than that, he's a great figure. I'm very excited to have him in my arsenal, or in my collection. So anyway, so guys, what do you think about the Street Fighter line? And are you guys happy that they are finishing the line? Another question, I think I've asked this before, are you going to collect the Jada versions of the Street Fighter Alpha 3 figures after seeing what Storm Collectibles is doing, Storm Arena? For me, I think I'm just doing Storm Arena. You know, I love Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter Alpha 3, but I don't see double dipping in that would be ideal for me, only because the reason why I'm double dipping in the Street Fighter Jada versions and the Storm Collectibles, because the Storm Collectibles are bigger. So that's another reason. I don't know if I'm gonna go with it, even though I do love Jada. They're a freaking awesome company, and they do well. It's just, you kind of gotta figure out where you're gonna, you know, where your money's gonna go, where you're gonna put your money. So all right, so let me know what you guys think in the comments, and you know, thank you all for your support. We'll have a year-end video. I'm leaving out of town this week, so when I get back on the weekend, I think I get back Sunday or Monday, I'll go ahead and get that video ready for you, and I can do my year-end review. So it's been a great year. Thank you for all my new subscribers and continued support for my regular subscribers. I really appreciate everything. And until next time, we will see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.